Here's how I made this beat for Young Lean's Unknown Memory 2. So I decided to compile this beat after binge watching a crazy amount of Young Lean beat tutorials. I think it's safe to say just to find whatever works for you. Basically, for me, what I found in a lot of the tutorials, like they had the right formula, but I felt like it was a little bit overcomplicated. There was just like way too much layering, and it just makes it really kind of confusing to work with. So basically, what worked for me was just stripping it all back. So I ended up just taking out more elements as I went along. Like I'd already created them, but ended up taking it out and it sounded better. A really important thing that I found was obviously the sound design is just, you know, the whole like Sad Boys, Drain Gang, like they obviously have a sound of their own. I just went with like a lot of the Shinju presets as they're like already tailored for this kind of genre. So we start off with this pad called Angel. I'm working in G minor. So my chord progression is actually 1, 6, and then 3. And then I've just layered it with the 5th on top of each of the notes, just basic power chords. So this is what it sounds like. Then I took this synth, it's called Angelic, and I've got this other synth called Haste. And then the third synth that I used, this was kind of like the final call and response bit. It's called Love This. I ended up tweaking it a little bit, like I moved this LFO back and I think I like pulled back the delay. Maybe I pulled back the distortion as well. Another thing you'll notice in these Young Lean beats, like obviously there's a lot of call and response. If you listen to Young Lean, you probably already noticed that before. Just actually going to change the colors of them so that they're easier to differentiate. Pad kind of like separates the melody, and then in the kind of spaces in between I've just like sort of filled it out with different elements, just each kind of taking their own turns. As I was saying, like a lot of the other tutorials that I watched, they had a lot of like layering, and I did that initially, but it just wasn't working for me. It was getting like really cluttered. A lot of the sound design is very like reverby, and it was just getting like really muddy and stuff. So pretty much when I started taking elements away, I found that it worked like quite quickly. It just goes to show like simple is generally better. I think any advice that I'd give for like learning a new type of beat or new style is probably like give yourself like 5 beats. Like this is probably my 5th beat that I made trying to make a Young Lean beat, and on the 5th one I got a good beat, you know. It takes a little while just for some, you have to really just like play around with stuff until it just like clicks for you, and then you realize like where things should be and how they should go, and how you just make it work yourself. Give yourself a little bit of time to learn new things. Then this 808 is called Hell. I had like a Zaytoven 808 in there, and it was kind of like giving me like stars vibes. Once I switched out the 808, just like kind of more a mid-rangey sounding one like this, it just had like more of a futuristic vibe, and I just thought that really suited the unknown memory kind of style. Then we layered it with like this Young Lean kind of drum pattern. So we've just got this kick is a Baby Pluto kick layered with the clap from Backstreet Boys, the Blade song with Working on Dying, and then the hat is just, I'm pretty sure it's just a hit one hat from the One Exposed kit. It's just got a different name because I grabbed it out of a different kit. Same sound. So this is what the drum beat sounds like. Then after that, I just layered some a second snare, and then some open hats. And then there's just this kind of like bridge section, and I added this Young Lean style bass. It's kind of like a Reese bass, but it's like a pluck, and I just kind of like simplified that section. So and then I just ran all of my synths into a group, got the high pass up to 220 hertz, just some simple processing, just to take away the lows. And then I've actually got it through this Studio Tape emulation. It's called the J37. It's by Waves. I've got a preset on it. It's called acoustic guitar, and then I just slightly tweak some of the parameters. But yeah, that's just kind of like working as a compressor to sort of like bring all the synth elements a little bit closer together. So that's everything for the video. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. This beat will be up on my BeatStars, so it's available if you want to purchase a lease. As well as the Ableton project file will be on my Patreon. If you subscribe to that, you have unlimited access to all of my Ableton project files, so you can open them up and see how I've mixed it, see how I've kind of like composed the beat, and yeah, just kind of like deconstruct them. Thank you guys so much for your support. It's been amazing. Be sure to keep an eye out for a stash kit that I'm dropping soon. That'll be on my BeatStars and my Patreon as well. So yeah, that's what's to come soon from me. But yeah, see you guys again tomorrow.